Hey everybody, Brandon here from First Baptist Mount Shasta with a weekly update for February 20th, 2019. We've been going through our series in the book of Ruth, and I hope you have been a part of that and been able to enjoy that, especially if you're part of our church family. If you're not, you can catch those sermons online as well. But this previous week, we talked about grace, and we've been talking about this overarching theme of God's Hesed love for us. And that is an enduring, faithful, steadfast, loyal, covenantal, grace-filled, redemptive love that he has. And it's not just like a once and done kind of love. And we think about grace sometimes, we think about the same thing, but grace is once and done. It was a gift that he gave us through Jesus on the cross, right? And that was God's grace, that he gave us a forgiveness that we could never earn on our own and that we didn't deserve, that he did all the work necessary. But what's neat about grace is that it's not just a once and done thing. Grace is also similar in a Hesed love, an enduring love. And we talked about kind of four aspects on Sunday. We talked about that grace calls us out. So before we even knew Jesus, he was drawing us to himself, and that was by his grace. He was drawing us to himself. And we made the mention about Ruth. Ruth was a stranger in Bethlehem because she was a Moabitess. So she was from Moab, and she had come from Moab to Bethlehem and was a stranger in that land. But what God does through his grace is he tells us, he says, listen, you may feel at home somewhere, but if you're not with me, you're actually a stranger there. So when God calls you out by his grace, what he's saying is stop being at home or being comfortable where you are, and I want you to be at home with me. And that's an amazing part of his grace. So he starts to draw us to himself. Now, a lot of us take steps and movement towards him, but movement doesn't mean that we're saved by God's grace right there. Movement is not enough. There's a stirring that happens inside of us, and this is also what grace does. God's grace stirs faith inside of us. So yeah, we might be drawing ourselves, or God is drawing us towards him, but then he gives us this gift of grace that is actually also a gift of faith, that he stirs that inside of us, that we can believe the gospel, we can trust in him, and that idea of repentance, coming to him and saying, I'm nothing without you, I'm totally empty, right? That's his gift of grace to us as well. So we exhibit faith and we believe. And then from there, he moves in us this heart, this desire to eagerly obey him. You see, if we're not eagerly obeying Jesus, if we're not eagerly seeking after and asking God, what would you have me do? Then we have to do a heart check, because God's grace moves us to eagerly, passionately, as a response to the salvation, to the forgiveness that he's given us, to love him and obey him. And then God's grace continues in an enduring way and brings blessing. That God's grace brings blessing. Now, that may not mean we have a total blessing here on earth. We may not be rich or always well, but the true hope that's inside of us is this hope that we have in Jesus Christ for eternity. That blessing that we have is a joy that overrides our circumstances, because we know that whatever circumstance we're in right now, whatever season we're in, will only be temporary, and that there will be a day where we will be whole and full of joy and with Jesus forever. So there's a hope in that. There's a blessing in that. I hope you're excited about that. I hope you can really rest in God's grace as he loves us. So it's an amazing attribute of God's Hesed love for us. So keep reading Ruth, keep checking that out. We saw how grace was portrayed in Ruth's life, and that was a really amazing story with her too. So check out the book, keep reading ahead. Some things to talk about that are going on in and around our church, I want to make you aware of. First of all, Class 101 is coming up. Class 101 is our Discovering First Baptist class. It's our prerequisite to membership, but it's really an informative class. You get to hear from me and some of the other leaders what we teach and why we teach it, what our mission is as a church, how you can come alongside and partner with that, and how we want to help you grow in your faith and knowledge of Jesus. So a great opportunity to grow in that knowledge of what we do as a church and what God might be calling and stirring in your heart to do. That class is coming up on March the 9th, I think. Is it 9th? March 9th. It's March 9th from 9 a.m. until noon here at the First Baptist Church campus. So love to have you be part of that. If you want to sign up for that, you can let us know on this feed, this thread, or you can call the church office and let us know as well. Or on Sunday morning, you can fill out a welcome card and let us know. The other big thing happening is our girls retreat. We have a junior high and high school girls retreat that's been planned, and that's the same weekend as Class 101. So it's going to be the March 8th and 9th, so Friday, Saturday. That's for junior high and high school girls. And of course, some of the ladies, the Christian ladies in our church family, are going to be a part of that and coming alongside and shoulder to shoulder with those gals during that time. But we just want to feed and pour into these girls. And the theme is about hope, and that we're going to see how hope is just going to be something that lifts us and helps us get through this life and the tough times in life, and how God gives us that hope, and God gives us those even circumstances, hope to trust Him in those circumstances. So I'm excited about that. If you are a teen girl, or if you have a teen girl that want to be a part of that, make sure you get a hold of our student ministry here at the church. Call Chase or call the office. We'll also have a registration flyer available at the end of this week, and you'll be able to register online as well. So you can keep looking for that on the Facebook church page, or go to our website at fbcmountshasta.com. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great week. I love you. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.